Hey everybody, so day 13 of my 66-day challenge. A good day today, much better than yesterday, which is great. Um, I think after my run yesterday, I was doing some thinking, reflecting on some um, different ideas based on some meditation talks that I'd been listening to. And then sort of within that came on the exploration of identity, and then Aglika, shouts to her. She mentioned something the last time we spoke, which was the day that I started this challenge, um, about identity and things like that, and then self-image. And I did some more research based on what she said, and then found some really interesting things, and it really helped me to kind of shift my perspective a little bit and help me to think of um, or more realize some questions that would like really be helpful. And today they served exactly as they were intended. Um, so it's mainly just around like the asking the question like, is this who I am? And kind of, is this who I want to be? And so when I've been doing things today, I've been trying to keep that in mind, and that's been really helpful. So there was sometimes when I kind of caught myself doing things or like going towards doing things that maybe I shouldn't have been doing, like procrastination. Um, and I was like a lot more productive today in general. Like I did loads more. Um, had some really good calls and taught some good lessons, things like that. Um, Made some good progress with planning the curriculum that I'm going to be sort of building and like figuring out like testing and things like that. So it's been really good, as well as like learning a lot about different psychology things and things that are more like personal but nevertheless useful. So as I was kind of doing those things, like I was like asking myself like, is this me? Is this who I am? Kind of thing. Is this who I want to be? And it was really good because I caught myself sometimes like watching games or watching like things that maybe I shouldn't really be doing, and then when I did catch myself, it was just as simple as like asking the question, and even like it got to the point where I didn't even need to kind of ask the question in my mind. It was already just like, this is not me, and it kind of like asking like, is this who I am? Like, am I the person that chooses to do this, or do I want to be somebody else? Um, and that kind of making that choice, making that thought kind of conscious, and like instead of it being like, do I want to procrastinate or should I procrastinate? Like I feel like asking it in a way of, am I the person that procrastinates? That's kind of a very different question, and it's so much more powerful to me at least. It like really hits home, and I think in some sense identity can lead to like suffering and kind of like pain and stuff like that, because there's kind of like cravings attached to that. Um, that's from like a bit of a Buddhist perspective, and I do think that is like fundamentally true. But I think since at this point in my journey, I can't like completely eradicate all of my identity. Um, it's better to have a skillful identity that is beneficial for my journey rather than one which is kind of hindering my development and pulling me back, and kind of preventing me from being who I could be. Um, so I think that it's a really good step, that I've like sort of shifted that kind of the question rather than like, is this what I want to be doing, or like, should I be doing this, or is this the right thing to do, to more like, am I the person that does this? Because I think that's it's like, as I said, it's much more motivating for me because it's very clear that kind of, if I want to be somebody or I want to be a certain way, there are certain things that that person or the person that would achieve those things would do. Kind of like, if let's say for example, I want to be an astronaut. I don't, but let's just say, then like there are certain requirements or certain things which that person or an astronaut would do and would have had to have done in order to be an astronaut. So it's kind of, um, based on like who I want to be in the future and who I want to be now, it kind of like makes all of my actions more dependent on that and kind of linked to that path, if that makes sense. Um, yeah, it's I think it's quite like complicated when I'm explaining it, but at the same time, it's like it somewhat feels like really simple as well. It's just kind of like, is this me? Like, is this really me? Like, am I really the person that sits there and just like watches YouTube instead of like being productive or being creative? Like, am I really the person that plays games or does other things that I shouldn't be doing? Or am I the person that goes out and does the right thing? Like, am I really that person? And it's not kind of like saying like one's right or wrong, because like I think like there is a time and a place to play games, but like it's more kind of like it gives context. Like, am I the person that plays games in this situation right now instead of doing something else? And it's kind of like, yeah, just really interesting, really interesting. And I think that I'm gonna obviously see how it goes, but this seems to be like a good sort of refresher so far. Um, for the like, because initially like I had the initial phase of motivation and like willpower kind of taking me through and a bit of excitement, kind of novel, bit fresh doing this challenge, and then kind of going forwards, that dipped a little bit and I dropped a bit in motivation. Um, and hopefully I'm going to be able to map this out, and towards the end I'm going to have some little graphs that will kind of like display this, and then I can have kind of different pinpoints of like realizations and things that I had. um, and but yeah, so then like now like having like a trough sort of yesterday, going for a run, that was just, I definitely need to do that. Like whenever I'm feeling a bit down, I just need to go out and just like leg it about a bit. Because it just like it really helps to like sort my brain out, just clear my mind. um so definitely need to keep up with that. So I've been, the last 2 days I went for a run. One was in the morning, so morning on the 11th day, and then evening on the 12th. So I'm gonna go again tomorrow in the morning, and I'm doing around 4.8k for those, which is good. But I'm gonna shift. I'm gonna change the route very very slightly, so I get 5k in tomorrow, um, and then start to hopefully like build that up. So it's like I'm hitting like 3, 4, 5 days a week where I'm hitting like a 5k run. Um, Not timing myself yet. Not really bothered about that. It's more about the psychology side, I think, and kind of just clearing my mind and keeping me on track. Um, but yeah, so I had the run, and then this like exploration of identity, and like self image and things, and sort of bringing those questions in. So I think it's going to be quite an insightful thing for me, especially to like reflect on and just kind of look at the process that I've gone through. Um, but yeah, I think that's all for today. Not much more to report. Um, it's definitely been, I feel like there's been like a restart to the energy or the motivation, um, which is really great to know, because like yesterday I was feeling a bit like couldn't be bothered. So it's really good that that's been refreshed. Um, but yeah, hope everything's going well with everybody. Fingers crossed it is. Let me know if you want to have a chat. Just reach out. Feel free to. Um, but yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow. Yeah.